Good Tuesday morning. Thank you for joining us on Kare 11 News Now. I'm Megan McPherson. Let's take a look over Minneapolis today, where the city council will be discussing updates and interim changes at the police department. They will be presented with the department's next steps in naming a new police chief. They say they will also be provided clarity on several concerns raised by the public. Happening today, the man accused of killing a 5-year-old girl in a rollover crash will have his first court appearance. Investigators say Angel Eduardo Ruiz Perez was driving along 494 in Sunfish Lake Saturday when his van left the road and rolled over multiple times. The 5-year-old girl was not wearing a seatbelt. 2 other people were inside. Investigators say they also weren't wearing seatbelts. In Inver Grove Heights, a chaotic city council meeting ended early before council members were supposed to vote on 2 controversial data center proposals.
The motion to recess and reconvene is carried.
The council voted to end the meeting and pick up again Friday at 8 a.m. They were supposed to discuss 2 proposals, one to approve a 54,000 square foot data center and another to put a moratorium on new data centers in the city. One council member telling us they needed more time to talk about new information they received, but did not elaborate. This morning, Vice President Vance is now back in the U.S. after meetings in Switzerland that he says laid a good foundation for a long-term peace deal with Iran. Secretary of State Marco Rubio now heads to talk through the details with Gulf allies. And all of this as President Trump makes clear military force is on the table if Iran doesn't follow the agreement. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
Hi there. Critics are questioning whether the financial aspects of the agreement on oil sanctions and frozen assets reward Iran, while President Trump is adamant the threat of renewed force will keep the regime in line. This morning, a changing of the guard as Vice President J.D. Vance returns from Iran talks.
I feel great about the progress that we made.
And Secretary of State Marco Rubio travels to pitch the deal to Gulf allies, the UAE, Kuwait, and Bahrain, all frequent targets of Iranian attack throughout the war. They're eager for stability, but wary of concessions to Iran. The Trump administration is temporarily lifting oil sanctions, a sharp reversal in U.S. policy that allows Iran to sell oil freely and take payment in dollars during 60 days of negotiations, while President Trump maintains the threat of force.
If Iran doesn't live up to their agreement, or if they're not behaving, I will do what I have to do.
The president also defending the potential to unfreeze some Iranian assets. Money, he says, could only be used to buy food.
And the food's going to be bought exclusively through the United States from our farmers.
The White House is touting key points of progress from the opening round of negotiations, including steps to keep the Strait of Hormuz open as oil tanker traffic begins to flow, already pushing gas prices down. The Trump administration also touting an agreement to allow nuclear inspectors back into Iran,
To make sure they can never have a nuclear weapon.
Though Iran's foreign ministry spokesman told state media Tehran had made no new commitments on nuclear inspections and that any engagement through the United Nations would happen under existing procedures. While detailed nuclear talks continue, the White House is also hailing progress to contain flare-ups and fighting between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon, with new lines of communication, as President Trump downplayed any tensions with Israel's prime minister. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
This morning, Anoka Hennepin parents are pushing for a new property tax to help fund the state's largest school district. The nonprofit Parents for Good presented a petition with 3,000 signatures to the Anoka Hennepin School Board last night. That group says the tax will combat the district's $6 million deficit and dozens of layoffs. The school board, however, says signatures do not automatically put a tax on the ballot.
There have just been a variety of people who have come out, and they're finding us. They are looking for us and showing up to sign the petition because they are hungry for this change too.
Ultimately, a judge may have to make a decision, but in the short term, the deadline to get a levy on the ballot is August 11th. Today, the NBA draft begins in New York City, and already the Wolves are making some big moves. According to a late-night ESPN report, Minnesota is trading Julius Randle to the Brooklyn Nets. Minnesota also giving away its number 28 pick in today's draft in exchange for Brooklyn's number 33 pick. The Wolves are also reportedly re-signing Ayo Dosunmu to a 5-year, $112 million contract. ESPN says Minnesota made it a major priority to lock in Dosunmu after a great postseason. Today, Target Field concessions workers will be back at the bargaining table after going on strike during the Twins-Dodgers game. Some 500 concessions workers walked off the job yesterday, saying they've been working without a contract since January. The union is also calling for higher wages, health insurance, and job protections. The workers are employed by concessions company Delaware North. The company is requesting a federal mediator for today's bargaining session. Right now, several athletes in the Special Olympics USA Games are waking up for day 2 of competition here in the Twin Cities. And this morning, organizers have a lot planned for fans heading to the games to cheer on the competitors. Audrey Russo is at the U of M with more.
Good morning. Yeah, there is so much in store for the athletes, and it's really important to note that none of this would be possible without the volunteers. So right now, here in the volunteer tent, I am joined by the man who makes it all happen. Hunter, show me that shirt. Yeah, woo! Volunteer shirt. He's the volunteer coordinator. He puts all of this together. Tell me a little bit about just like what are you hearing from the volunteers so far as we're heading into day 2? How did they think day 1 went?
I've heard great things that our check-in system has been very smooth. Everyone's having a good time. The vibes are there. Everybody loves it. We had a volunteer show up from the airport. She was choking it before she even got the chance to start talking to me about how great we've been promoting this event. As soon as she saw the banner at the airport, she started crying. And all of the videos talking about volunteerism here. So yeah, it's just been great feedback from the volunteers.
Awesome. Yeah, and we were talking a little bit about some of the messaging that was on the boards and the screens over there, talking about being a part of making these magic moments. Tell me, how important is it to build these magic moments for the athletes and to really be part of holding the whole event together? Right.
I mean, this event's all about inclusion and just kind of working behind the scenes. Again, we try to be the glue that holds everything together. Getting to watch the athletes just walk around campus. It kind of reminds me of the college days, just, track and field meets and all the athletes just walking around. Everybody has their own color the colors of their states. And so they just get to walk around, they get to hang out, vibe. I think it's important for them to feel included, and that's what this event's all about.
Absolutely, all about inclusion. And you guys come here, you volunteer, you're doing this for free. These are not short shifts, right? Tell me a little bit about the how long you're here every day.
So I'm here by 4 a.m. to set up, and then I leave when the job is done, and on average the job has been 10 p.m. every night, and then we're up again at 4, and a lot of us are working off of 4 hours of sleep. But again, to make the magic happen, that's how the magic happens, is getting up at 4 and leaving at 10, 11, 12 at night.
Absolutely. And just real quick, I know you guys are always looking for volunteers. If somebody wants to come in, take part, and be a volunteer as well, how do they do that?
Yeah, so they can come into the tent at lot 37 if they have any questions. I know that the website can be a little confusing. I would encourage everyone to go to the website first and look at what's available, and sign up as quickly as possible. We have a lot of hospitality shifts that, serving meals to athletes that still need to be filled. There are a handful of sports roles left, and snag them as they come open. But what is it? Snag them as they come open. If they're not available, come here. I'll help you find something. I'm here at the tent. I'm glued to the tent, so I'll be here all week. But yeah, continue to do that first step first to see what's available, and then come here.
Awesome, Hunter. Thank you so much, and you get a cool T-shirt too. Yep. So honestly, what's not to love? Elsa, thanks back to you.
Happening today, a restaurant with a James Beard winning legacy opens in downtown Minneapolis. Indígena is the next iteration of Owamni, focusing on indigenous culture. Like its predecessor, Indígena will only use ingredients found in the Americas prior to colonization in 1492. Creator Sean Sherman says the restaurant will feature more entrees, larger cuts of game meat, and even a seafood menu.
There's a lot to share, you know, and we're hoping that this does create some curiosity in our guests, and they do ask relevant questions. And we see food as a very powerful language. It's a language that connects all of us as humans, and we just believe in the power of food.
The restaurant also sources its ingredients from indigenous food producers, prioritizing local vendors first. The restaurant opens at 11 this morning, and a grand opening celebration is planned for July 4th. Stick with us. More news and weather is coming up after the break.